Hi dear fans, friends and subscribers, how are you all doing? And welcome to your favorite cricket show, the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram on a daily basis. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, on this particular cricket show, well, you would have seen my cricket update on the first one-day international between New Zealand and South Africa. So I'm continuing in that as I promised. I'm out here to speak about that first one-day international which was played between New Zealand and South Africa at a brand new ground in Mount Duminy, which went into the cricket history books as one of the newest grounds and joined the pantheon of international cricket grounds here as far as international cricket is concerned. And what happened on that in that brand new stadium was something that South Africa will be pretty pleased about, because they managed to, on their first match of the tour of the New Zealand, and this was the first one-day international of the series, South Africa sealed the win by 6 wickets. First they restricted New Zealand to 230, they bowled out New Zealand for 230, and then the bowlers did a fine job by bowling a disciplined line and length, and then the South African innings led by none other than the captain villiers with an unbeaten 89 of 85 balls with 9 fours, road to victory. So I'll be talking about that match, and also as you know, I will just talk briefly about this before I go to the first ODI between New Zealand and South Africa. As you know, West Indies tour was truncated. A lot of disputes between the West Indies Cricket Board and the West Indies Cricket Players Association. The Indian Cricket Board didn't take kindly to that, and it was all over. West Indies had to return home, unfortunately. But so Sri Lanka are the ones who are going to fill up for that, and Sri Lanka would be playing 5 one-day international matches against India, and that is going to start from 30th of October 2014. 30th of October, it is going to be played at the Bravo Stadium in Mumbai. And as far as that series is concerned, considering that the India has a tour of Australia, and also they would be going for the World Cup, they have to prepare for the World Cup. What the Board of Control for Cricket in India has done is they have decided to give the Indian captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni some rest. So Mahendra Singh Dhoni wouldn't be a part of 3 one-day internationals that would be played. In fact, for the first 3 ODIs, Mahendra Singh Dhoni has opted out to take some rest, and also Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been given some rest, and in Bhuvneshwar Kumar's place, in fact Dhoni's place is going to be taken by Wriddhiman Saha, the wicket-keeper, but I was a bit surprised. Sanju Samson, who actually went on the tour of England but never got an opportunity in any of those matches, is still not being considered. Wriddhiman Saha, well, Wriddhiman Saha is a good player, I have nothing against him. But you know, he scored a century in the IPL, as you would remember. But Wriddhiman Saha is a wonderful keeper, no doubt about that. So he has not been. Sanju Samson has been left out, and Wriddhiman Saha has taken his place. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar has also been rested by giving an opportunity to the Jharkhand pace bowler Varun Arun. So and also Ravichandran Ashwin, who was rested for the series and against West Indies, is back into the mix. And the new captain for India is the person who struggled with his form in the summer in England, and then slowly got on to his 20th ODI century. You all know who am I talking about. It's none other than the pink-eyed boy of Indian cricket, as I always say. It's Virat Kohli. So Virat Kohli is the new captain of the Indian cricket team, the absence of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. But one thing really beats me, dear fans, friends and subscribers, and that is, already Sanju Samson is one example where he went on the tour of England and he was not given a single chance, and Sanju Samson is not considered, which is pretty sad according to me. And then if you look at the other selection, now Kuldeep Yadav, for the first 3 one-dayers against West Indies, he was not selected. One could understand that. Probably we thought that Kuldeep Yadav, the Chinaman bowler who made waves in the Indian Premier League this year, operating in tandem with Sunil Narine for the Kolkata Knight Riders, couldn't get a look in the sense we thought probably he would be playing in the 4th, and I can understand that. But what is really baffling for me is that Kuldeep Yadav, who is a real surprise packet, and he has been still kept aside. He has been, this can really break the morale of the players. Sanju Samson, who is such a talented player, now he is not there, and now we see that Kuldeep Yadav, the Chinaman bowler, which is an extreme rarity, and I thought this was a perfect, what one can't understand, unless and until there are some other reasons, one could probably go with, understand that. But Kuldeep Yadav, who has just been elected, he has been in the squad for the tour of West Indies. West Indies truncated the tour and he has gone back. So at least you could have had Kuldeep Yadav for the series against Sri Lanka. But I really can't understand why Kuldeep Yadav, who has been selected and now he has been left out. Probably they could have given Amit Mishra some rest and probably had Kuldeep Yadav. It doesn't matter for India whether they lose matches or win matches, because what is more important is the World Cup 2015. So I was under the impression that Kuldeep Yadav has been selected precisely for the reason that I thought that they would unleash him on the West Indies. They couldn't do that. They could have unleashed him on the Sri Lankans, but one does not know. I'm nobody here to give my comments. This is just my comments on this cricket show. This is what I think about it. I think Kuldeep Yadav, in the first place, when he has been selected, I think he should have been given a long rope, and he should have been given a chance against the Lankans. On the other hand, okay, I can understand Ravichandran Ashwin coming in. Well, one could have rested Amit Mishra and brought in, kept Kuldeep Yadav, because now what's the use of bringing somebody and then not giving him one match and then I just really can't. This really stumps me, dear fans and subscribers. I hope you all agree with me. Kuldeep Yadav, according to me, should have been definitely played against the Sri Lankans, and I don't know for what reason he has been kept aside, or what India wants to spring a surprise by just keeping him a sort of like a weapon. The only reason that I think that Kuldeep Yadav has been kept away from the team, there's only one reason, and if at all, if that is the reason that Kuldeep Yadav is not being included, well, I will agree. One thing that they could probably, that would be something on their minds, that Kuldeep Yadav could be a sort of a surprise weapon that they could bring him for the World Cup 2015. Now, if that is the case, I would probably agree with it. But if that's not the case, then I don't see any reason why Kuldeep Yadav should have been left out. Well, if unless and until the selectors have had a word with Kuldeep Yadav telling him that we are keeping you fresh and we want you to be unleashed against the international cricket players directly in the World Cup 2015, or that would be something that I would, because that would be like a surprise weapon India would have, and that is a marquee event which is coming up in 2015, the World Cup. I can really understand that, but other than that, I can't see any reason why Kuldeep Yadav should have been left out, especially considering the fact. Well, dear fans, subscribers, so other than that, the team is the same. It have Virat Kohli. It's almost the same team that played against the West Indies, and they have Akshar Patel. As I said, Kuldeep Yadav unfortunately has been left out. Well, so from here, let me leave the scene here and let's head off to the first one-day international between New Zealand and South Africa. As I said, this was the first one-day international which was played at the Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui. This is the new cricket ground, and it was South Africa who actually won the toss. I spoke about it yesterday. New Zealand batted first, and let me tell you, none of the New Zealand batsmen could really get going against in the sense, nobody could really go on to a big score nobody could really settle down and play a long innings, and the only reason that New Zealand were saved some face was at a time when they were 156 for 9. It looked like everything was over, and probably New Zealand would be wound up for 175. But thanks to a record 10-wicket partnership that happened between Luke Ronchi, who unfortunately was out for 99 of 83 balls with 11 fours and 3 sixes, the wicketkeeper batsman from New Zealand, and Trent Boult, the number 10 batsman, who showed a lot of pluck in staying with Luke Ronchi to take New Zealand to a respectable score of 230 all out, his contribution being an unbeaten 21 of 33 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. Now, looking at the New Zealand innings here, Jimmy Neesham, as I said, they are experimenting. They probably, as I said, Brendan McCullum feels that Jimmy Neesham is a special talent and they want to nurture him until the World Cup. But well, Jimmy Neesham, well, he made a confident 16 or 15 balls with 3-4s before being a victim of Philander. Now, Philander was the person who was actually moving the ball. This was a very good delivery that he bowled to Neesham, and Neesham was sucked in. And then Martin Guptill, receiving an away swinger from Philander, was once again caught by Quinton de Kock for 5. And Quinton de Kock also became the fastest South African wicketkeeper to go to 100 dismissals. I'm not sure, there's probably 50 dismissals. The first 50 in probably 28 matches, if I'm not wrong. Probably my statistics might not be right, so please pardon me there. Doug Brownlee, who came in, he also showed a bit of determination there. He made 24 of 28 balls, 2 4s and 1 6. But Brendan McCullum, who was kept quiet, in fact, the New Zealand innings was really struggling. After from 21 for 1, they became 35 for 2 in the 10th over. When Brownlee was out, the score was 68 for 2 in the 15th over. And then Brendan McCullum, who was kept quiet for the first 8 balls, then finally decided that the only way to deal with Vernon Philander was to really cart him, and that's what he did. He precisely hit him first straight over mid-wicket and then square over mid-wicket for another 6. 2 consecutive 6s were hit by Brendan McCullum, and he was gone for 16 of 21 balls. As I said, nobody was able to go on to play a long innings. Tom Latham Tom Latham was looking good on his knock of 29 of 38 balls with 5 4s, stroking the ball sweetly, but he was also a goner of the bowling of Duminy. And then Morne Morkel was the one who gave them a double strike by actually clean bowling Coley Anderson for a duck of the very first ball he faced. And then Luke Ronchi was there in the middle. Luke Ronchi, well, he was taking his time at the crease. He knew that he had a big responsibility on his shoulders. He really shouldered them pretty well. Daniel Vettorio made a comeback with LBW bowler Imran Tahir for a duck. Nathan McCullum, the brother of Brendan McCullum, was a victim of McLaren for 6. And Kyle Mills was also sent back to the pavilion by McLaren for 1. As I said, all the South African bowlers really stuck to their task. But Luke Ronchi, well, he really, for the first 50, he really took his time. But later on, we saw that Luke Ronchi unveiled some beautiful strokes, and he was pretty severe. He was really giving it a real whack there, and he was also getting good company from Trent Boult, who also hit 2 4s and 1 6 in an unbeaten knock of 21. And that was time 156 for 9 was the score for New Zealand, and probably South Africa could have finished it off. But as I said, this record 10-wicket partnership of New Zealand, which added more than 70 odd runs, took New Zealand to a bit of respectability when they were all out for 230. And Luke Ronchi, unfortunately, could have got a century, but seeing that he wanted to shield Trent Boult from the strike, and he decided that he will be taking strike in the 46th over, and he shelved that single, and that single seemed to be his sort of a misinterpretation, because what happened was the very first ball that he received, he probably tried to glide the ball from Dale Steyn to third man for a single, but it was all over as he was snapped up behind the wickets by none other than, I thought it was Quinton de Kock, who took his 5th catch in this match, in this particular innings, and he was gone, and New Zealand were all out for 230. And South Africa, on their first stint here in New Zealand, did pretty well with Dale Steyn bowling in the right areas. 7.1 overs, 1 maiden, 28 runs and 1 wicket. Vernon Philander was absolutely superb. 7 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 38. The spoils were shared by all the bowlers. That each and every bowler deserved a lot of credit for their very disciplined bowling. Morne Morkel, 8 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 39. Imran Tahir also bowled pretty economically. 10 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 37. Ryan McLaren, 8 overs, 59. He was the only one who was a bit costly, giving away 59 runs, but still picked up 2 wickets of the New Zealand tail. JP Duminy bowled 5 overs, 1 for 22. So 230 all out, thanks to this 10th record 10th wicket partnership, which helped them. And then South Africa started their digging towards the total of 230. Well, they lost a quick wicket. First it was Trent Boult, who was bowling superbly. He was using the conditions to his advantage. and he was also bowling with lots of pace. And what he did is Quinton de Kock was the first victim, as he was caught by Latham on the bowling of Bolt for 9 of 5 balls to 2 fours, and then du Plessis was sent back to the pavilion. That was a double blow which was dealt by Trent Bolt to reduce South Africa to 30 for 2, when du Plessis was caught behind the bowling of Bolt for 8. That made it 30 for 2, and then really Rousseau showed some good strokes there in his knock of 26 of 31 balls before Anderson picked him up, picked his wicket when Brownlee took the catch, and he was gone for 26. And then it was left to Hashim Amla. Hashim Amla definitely, what Hashim Amla did is that the bowling was pretty good. The bowling was pretty sharp from Trent Bolt and Kyle Mills, and Daniel Vettori also coming into the picture, really making a comeback. Really was really giving a tough time to the South African batsmen. And then Hashim Amla was kept quiet for quite a long time, as Hashim Amla realized that his innings was pretty important, with the score on 73 for 3 in the 19th over. He got the company of A.B.D. Villiers, and once A.B.D. Villiers came on to the crease, from the 73, when the score reached 97, South Africa lost one more wicket when Kyle Mills rattled the stumps of Hashim Amla for 38 of 74 balls with 1-4. The score was 97 for 4 at the halfway mark. Still a long way to go, and after that it was A.B.D. Villiers putting his head along with J.P. Duminy, working towards the target, and even though the bowling was pretty good, I thought, even though New Zealand were defending 230, I thought they were bowling pretty well. The spinners were doing their job, especially Daniel Vettori, and the pace bowlers were also doing a pretty good job, and it enabled them to stretch this South African after reducing them to 97 for 4. It really required both A.B.D. Villiers and Duminy to really launch a big recovery. Not only did they launch a recovery, but in the end they won the match for South Africa by 6 wickets, with A.B.D. Villiers finishing on an unbeaten 89 of 85 deliveries with 9 beautifully hit boundaries. J.P. Duminy contributing an unbeaten 58 of 72 balls with 3 fours and 2 sixes, and South Africa winning the first one-day international in 48.1 overs by 6 wickets, and South Africa made 236. So in the end, Sought Africa sought to it, even though New Zealand did a fine job by reducing South Africa to 73 for 4. It didn't really matter in the end, as A.B.D. Villiers and Duminy completed the job for South Africa. Now looking at the bowling figures as far as the New Zealanders were concerned, Kyle Mills 8.1 overs, no maiden 147. Trent Bolt, I thought, bowled superbly. 10 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 40. Daniel Vettori on his comeback did an excellent job, even though his figures don't reflect. 10 overs, no maiden, 143. Nathan McCallum, the Iran spinner, 10 overs for 45. Anderson bowled 6 overs for 31 runs and 1 wicket. Neesham 4 overs, giving away 27 runs. And the player of the match went to A.B.D. Villiers of South Africa. So South Africa taking a 1-0 lead in this 5-match ODI series, winning the match against New Zealand by 6 wickets. Well, I thought, but still it was a good match. In fact, South Africa didn't have it so easy, because they were stretched to the limit with some very good tight bowling, which really added a bit of a pressure on the South Africans towards the end. But as I said, as long as A.B.D. Villiers was there at the crease, it's always the victory was definitely them for the taking. Definitely there for them for the taking, I would say. Well, dear fans and subscribers, so the second one-day international between New Zealand and South Africa is again going to be played at the same ground, at the Bay Oval in Mount Manguini, and it will be interesting to see whether South Africa could New Zealand could exact some sweet revenge over South Africa in the second one-day international. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that almost sums up my Cricket Happenings show for today. Thanks for your company, and thanks for regularly watching Cricket Happenings. Your host Ram will be seeing you tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye for the day. Thank you.